What is up, YouTube? D-Rec here with the Lions Rift Gaming Network, and I'm here with my friend Sean, who made 6th place at the Bushiroad Championship Series Spring Circuit 2017 Newark, New Jersey event. And he was gracious enough to come down today and help me out with a little deck list for you guys. So he was playing Fenrir with the Wiseman loop combo, and he's going to show us all the different techs he was making with his deck and just how he comboed off a bunch in some of his matches. So Sean, if you want to take it away.
Sounds good. We're going to always start off with Fenrir. There's no other better starter right now until later on, but for now, all he is, you slide him in the soul, and next time you soul blast, call a card out. He's the Fenrir without a counter blast. We're going to run 4 Dreamy Dragon just because this stand trigger will allow you to win every single stall game that you'll ever run into. Link Joker, Meg Colony, these clans won't really match up to you because you can stack your deck to be all trigger by the time GD8 comes around. We're going to run 4 crits. It's draw a card plus 5. It's not really too much, but if in that rare case you do get to have a crit on your Wiseman, it makes the world difference, and you pretty much should not lose the game at that point. Here we go, the most broken card, the Saltbringer, the stand trigger. Effect, when it's soul blasted, put it at the bottom of your deck and then stand one of your rear guards face up, or stand one of your rear guards. You stand Wiseman, the combo keeps going, and this is, you're going to need 4 of these no matter what. You can change a lot of the other stuff, but this is pretty much mandatory. You need at least 3 to loop though. We run Ring Rabbit, just because its troll is all hell. You need 4 heals. Shatter. Effect is, if you have Fenrir on the Vanguard circle, you can put him to the bottom of your deck, Soul Charge 2, and give a unit 6,000 power. He pretty much cycles through your deck and stacks up your Wiseman to crazy high numbers. The only drawback is you do need Fenrir on the Vanguard circle, so plot wisely. And it's kind of like the fallback for a lot of the stuff we're going to talk about later on. Unflipper PG. There's nothing else out yet, but counter blast has never been an issue, but hell, why not? An extra counter blast never hurts anyone.
Yeah, pun intended.
Yeah, there we go. We only got 3 Witch of Orange. It's a good card. It's going to keep your loop going. We can talk about the loop later if you already don't know what it is, but this is going to pretty much every time it's soul blasted, Soul Charge 2. You soul charge those stands right back into your deck, right back into your soul. We're only running 3 Stride Fodders, 1 SP, and we're gonna eventually change it, but for now we run 3 because you need these other grade 1s. You need them the exact same number, I think, that I have at right now. You can't mess with the Diamond Boys, and you can't mess with PGs. So for now, we're just cutting back on 1 Stride Fodder. We run Witch of Grapes, Grappa. Only 3 of them. It's the exact same effect of Witch of Orange when it's Soul Blasted, Soul Charge 2. Another one of those cards that's going to keep the loop going, bring it to crazy numbers. Probably the most underrated, or second most underrated card in this deck is this Battle Maiden, because every time it's, first of all, it's Revelation on the rear guard. You can't go wrong with that. And if I haven't explained Revelation, check top card of your deck. You can either keep it on top of your deck or put it into the soul, rest the unit. Per effect, plus 2,000 for every time you use a Revelation ability, plus 1,000 if it's just putting something in the soul. And the reason why it's actually really good, besides the fact that she is consistently about a 26,000 attacker on each stride, she's also not GB restricted, which is pretty rare considering that this is came out of Absolute Judgment. We run 2 Amber Clones. It's not bad. And its effect is when placed and you do Amber stuff, counter charge 1, and then soul charge 3, draw a card. It's kind of like a good backup if you're out of options, but you usually won't be using this too much. Probably going to cut down to 1. Now, the most underrated card that you'll ever see is Holder. Again, Revelation on the rearguard circle, that's good. And then when he's put onto a rearguard circle, Counter Blast 1 gets 4,000 power if you have a Fenrir. And then his other effect is Soul Blast 3, once per turn, draw a card. The reason why this is so good is because there's very few cards that Genesis has that's going to allow you to Soul Blast during the main phase. It's going to set up great combos with your starter. We run Minerva in case 7 Seas Rush happens, and it's just a pretty card to have. We run 3 Wiseman. Wiseman, it's the name of the deck. When he attacks, Soul Blast 3, and he gets 4,000 power to the end of the battle. And the main idea is you Soul Blast one of those stand triggers that we talked about earlier, and he stands back up. Use Diamond Boy to stack him up to crazy power. And then overall, he shouldn't be attacking anywhere from 8 to 16 times on your second stride every time. So overall, really good, and just is the fundamental for this deck. And now the bad boy, Fenrir. You need him on the Vanguard Circle. Just if nothing else, some of your cards require Fenrir. When you stride, Soul Charge 3, and the next time you Soul Blast for 1 combos, call the card out to the Vanguard Circle. And if you stop and think about how you're going to Soul Blast before you do your moves, you can call out, you can get multiple attacks off, and just overall, it creates so much pressure and allows card draw if you use Fenrir Boulder.
Awesome.
As for the stride zone, we run 2 of the SGR because it's hella pretty. This is your loop card. We can talk about the loop later on, but its effect is it changes Revelation if you're on GB2 to check the top 2 cards of your deck and put 1 on top and 1 into the soul. Good setup. And then it's an act. It's not a once per turn, so you can spam this out as much as you can, as much counterblast you have. Soul Blast 3, and then you can either choose to draw a card or put a card in the soul. If you put the card in the soul, him and another unit get 3,000 power. So always good for Fenrir, and always good for the Wiseman. Next, you never know. Counterblast has never been an issue, so we can run a Sea Breeze. This one, pretty good G-Guardian effect when you activate it. If you have a rear guard also in the soul, 10,000 power, it's like a Screw You that's for free because you should always have a copy of whatever's on your field in your soul too. The most broken card, arguably in the deck, is Iris, because Iris' effect is when you use the G-Guardian, you can take 3 cards from your drop zone and put it back in your soul. So if you guard with your stand trigger, you guard with Diamond Boy, you put it right back in the soul, and that means your next turn you're killing them. Your opponent either needs to choose to not attack you, for you not to use this G-Guardian, or to fall right into it, and then they know they lose the next turn. Because you're going to one-turn kill them every time. Doom Brace is effing useless. Every time I G-assist, we just get rid of him. He's good in other archetypes, but he doesn't work in this one. And he's literally just, he's just filler for the G-Zone. Every time you stride, you're going to go right into Tier, because Tier's effect is Soul Blast 3, look the top card of your deck, and you can either put it on the top or bottom. And then also, when he attacks anything that's not a grade 0, you may Soul Charge 3. That's a big word, but you gotta take it. It's a may Soul Charge 3. So he has the potential of adding 9 cards into your soul every time you attack with him. And then also during the main phase, that Soul Blast actually is really good because it starts up all your combos. Because he can call out the Wiseman, he can call out the Fenrir Boulder. And just overall, he's just really good. He gets all those stand triggers that you need back into your soul. You can actually first turn loop someone just because of how strong this card makes it. And then we just run 4 Vandegander. Vandegander, simple card. Soul Blast 6, check the top 4 cards of your deck. When he attacks, put them in any order that you want at the top or bottom. It's the only time that you can be accused of stacking, and they're right. So, with that said, let's talk about a few combos, and we're going to talk about with Tier and Fenrir. So, if you have Fenrir right here on as your heart card, you're going to use his effect in Soul Blast. You take a card out, and then you're all set. Now, the cool thing to do is to know. Let's say you pull out him, you activate his effect. Next time you attack, you're going to Soul Blast. So the real key to this is you try and stack him up on with Diamond Boy in the first stride, And then at the end of the main phase, before your first battle, you slide this into the soul, and that way you can do an attack, get the stand triggers in there, attack, then this guy's buffed as all hell. You attack for probably like 26, you call out, you can call out a Wiseman, you can call out anything, and you can soul blast one of those stands. He stands back up. You attack again. Now you go another stand trigger. Stand him back up one more time, and Wiseman, if you have it. Attack, attack, and last one. And that should stop almost every aggro deck because they either lose the game or they run out of complete steam and can't stride next turn. This has been the basics and basic combos of the Wiseman League.
Now, just for a quick recap, I know some people haven't seen the combo yet. I know it's fairly old enough since GBT08 came out, and I'm pretty sure everyone's familiar with it. But just for those who aren't familiar with the card that both cards are comboing off of when you Soul Blast, you mind just pulling that out real quick?
Yeah, we got you. And just say this is your deck.
Yep.
So, the basics of it is we just take a bunch of cards. Your soul's going to pretty much be your entire deck at this point. And this is how it works. Wiseman attacks for probably 56, probably more. You soul blast 1, 2, and 3 cards. And then the effects would be, this is a dud, it doesn't do anything. This is going to allow you to soul charge the top 2 cards of your deck, and if you set it up well, then this goes in and another one goes right back into the soul. And then this card's effect is it goes to the bottom of the deck, and Wiseman stands back up, and you just keep looping this until you're out of witches and out of the stand trigger, and then you probably are only going to have 1 card left in your deck, to which then your entire deck is in your drop zone. Use Dreaming Dragon at the end of the turn if they somehow lived, and you just reset the game.
It's a really key combo, and like you said earlier, you use, if you mind, I pull it out real quick. You call Diamond Boy out, and you do his act ability during the main phase to give him +6, and you keep doing it over and over again.
Because with this, you're going to have your deck so low that you're going to just use all your counterblast to continuously soul charge and soul blast and just keep getting those Diamond Boys back into your soul and just keep it going. We suggest just watching any of the combo loops because you can just get Wiseman to astronomically high numbers out of nowhere. And then still, you know, when he's done attacking, you're out of everything. He attacks, and your deck is literally only 4 stands, and he's coming right back. It literally is it just never ends. Hence the Wiseman.
And that's why it's so destructive, and that's how you got the top 6.
Yeah, it was good.
All right. Thank you again for coming to do the deck profile with me, Sean. And I will be doing a deck profile on the first place 7 Seas Grade 1 Rush deck. He'll be here another day. But until then, this was D-Rec. You are watching Alliance Rift Gaming Network, and I will see you guys in the next video.